In this video, we're going to talk about Spawn's power surge that took place from the previous issue, and what happens next will shock you. It's Spawn's greatest threat revealed, and New York City is under siege. Alrighty then, this is a comic book review of King Spawn, issue number 42, brought to you by RatedComics. Let's get to it. So previously in King Spawn, after the events of Spawn issue number 360, Spawn's powers have returned and a new mission has presented itself. So 4 days ago, these two girls are outside this house bickering about that this girl, whoever they're going to pick up, is keeping us waiting and they want to play, or they want to go shopping, they want to get manis and petties, but it's not sure there. So they go and knock on the door again, and they're like, typical, man, this girl keeps us waiting. So they go in to check out the situation, and at their eyes, it is the stuff of nightmares, folks. And this time, they're not understating the ugliness of this story. So as we see this right here, obviously we got a new player in town, and with this power surge, I told you we're going to start off with this issue in a little bit shocking manner right there. Maybe more or less I said that, but take it all in just for a little bit, then we got to get out of it. So now the news is like, oh man, New York families were slaughtered, 5 of them in their homes. It's just the beginning. Unfortunately, in all 5 cases, the parents were brutally murdered by the attackers, while their sons and daughters, no, they didn't say nothing about daughters, but their sons were abducted. Though authorities can't establish any link between the families, other than they each had a son between the ages of 7 and 10, searches for the abducted boys have so far failed. They're no closer to finding the mad butchers of these monstrous crimes or what motivated them, so they're just kind of chasing their own tail at this time. So sadly, these horrific stories have become all too common in recent months. It feels increasingly like we're trapped in the world that's spiraling further and further out of control, which begs the question, can anything out there possibly slow down this madness? Or are we just all lambs waiting to be led to our slaughter? But King Spawn, he's about to do some work and find out the business right now. But before we can find out about any kind of business, we got to find out the business of the home of Terry Fitzgerald. Katie wakes up screaming, and Terry has to go in and console his daughter, like, baby, it's okay. I've been there with my daughter before. You got to stay there, give her a little rub, just kind of cuddle with her for a little bit until they go back to sleep. So after he goes and does that, as being a father that he is, he goes down. The nanny's like, how is she? And Terry's like, she just nodded off, and I thought things were starting to improve after I got shot. And this is referencing in issue 32 of King Spawn, which we did cover. You can check that out in the playlist if you like. And the nanny's like, well, that's not surprising. So after what happened to you and now this horrible business with the kidnapped boy, I just wish I knew how to make things feel better, says Terry. Wanda was always so good at that stuff. And the nanny's like, don't beat yourself up for it, bro. Like, you're doing a pretty damn good job. And Terry's like, well, thanks for your kind words. I needed that, but now you got to go. So the doorbell rings as he's about to let his nanny out so she can catch a cab. And it's Special Agent Lynn with the FBI, and he wants to talk to Terry real quick. So back to the scene of the crime where the parents are slaughtered in front of those 2 little girls. Well, they didn't, not in front of them, but they witnessed the aftermath of it. Spawn's like, something's wrong. I could usually tap into evil energy, but after 4 days, I haven't had a single premonition on any of these kids. It's like they disappeared from the face of the earth, which is why he's captured K-Raz, a half-breed demon with unique tracking abilities. And once he got the trace of someone, he can locate them anywhere and everywhere, provided that they're still alive. Did I say everywhere? Maybe on this dimension of Earth. But now they go into the homes of the abducted boys, and Spawn's like, do you see anything? And K-Raz is like, no, I've got no signals from any of their rooms. And Spawn is like, how is that possible? So K-Raz is like, my best guess is it's probably one of Hell's new arrivals, but whoever they are, they don't seem too worried about keeping a low profile or playing by old rules. And Spawn is pissed. He's like, man, I ain't having it. Just find them, because I got smoke to unleash. So he gets a phone call, and Spawn tells Terry, I told you not to use this line of communication. And Terry's like, well, I know, but we got a problem, so deal with it. An FBI agent showed up at my front door, and guess who he asked about? You. So now, what do you want to do? And Spawn's like, well, what do you want to know? And Terry's like, yo, man, the FBI, they want to know everything. And Spawn's like, and you said? Yeah, I said nothing, says Terry, but he wasn't buying my denial, so here's the kicker. He gave me a message that he wanted me to pass along to you. He said he wants to meet, that he has information you're looking for. And Spawn, come on now, being military trained, he's like, yeah, what kind of information is that? He said, you'll know. And that is a way to get Spawn's attention, but he's not going to be happy about it. So FBI agent William Lynn is on the top of a roof in the building in New York, and Spawn shows up and he's like, yo, I'm gonna say this once. If you ever go near Terry Fitzgerald or his family again, it'll be the last thing you do, bro. I understand, man. I just want to get your attention. But if you're so concerned about his family, I won't be the only one able to track him or your other friends, alright? So Spawn's like, and who the heck are you? Well, an ally. Hopefully, I could use your help. And Spawn's like, and why would I do that, human? So the FBI agent's like, because I think we both want the same thing, the return of those boys. The FBI agent has his undivided attention. So Agent Lynch is like, this isn't some random, and it's happened before 25 years ago to the day. My brother and 4 other boys were abducted that night. The parents, including my own, were murdered the same way as we see those this week. No one was ever caught. Cops had never any suspects. So Spawn's like, why come to me? Because I'm surrounded by corruption. My bosses listened. Initially, things were so chaotic they would have taken any leads. So he goes back into his flashback. But when they checked my story, they couldn't find anything about my parents, murders, or the other families. They were all listed as having died in separate, unconnected incidents. Officially, no one's listening to me. So the FBI agent's like, someone messed with these files, and whoever it is has enough influence to alter government data. Then I watched your interviews talking about shadow agents, and that's why I'm here. And I'm thinking he's talking about an interview that Spawn did in Spawn issue number 298, 299 or something like that. K-Raz comes out the port, is like, Spawn, there's a lead, and I found something. So later on, these two, yeah, they look very non-suspicious at all, sarcasm, are driving this van, and they get hit by a damn spike strip. So they get pissed, like, what the hell's going on? Call for backup. But by the time they'll get here, says Spawn, it'll be too late. Spawn unleashes some smoke on him, but he dismantles him really quick, goes to the van, opens up the door, and sees the abducted kid and rescues him. And Spawn's like, don't be afraid. You're safe now. Let's go. So one of the mug men or bad men is like, you idiot! You don't know what you've done. The Wraith will destroy you for this. But he gets destroyed before he can finish anything else. So the boss is called, or one of the bosses is called, and been told there's been a complication that someone intercepted the final boy. Tell me who it is. We don't know yet, but we're searching for a replacement as quickly as possible. I want a replacement for that boy. That boy has a purpose, whoever that mysterious figure is on the other line. And this guy's like, I'll mobilize my men tonight. No, Dimitri from behind. He gets his throat slit. Your services are no longer required. Revenant will handle matters from here. I don't know who this brother is, but you could tell you see a little bit of a cybernetic arm on his forearm there. I don't know if that has something to do with like the Scourge or something Jason Wynn did, or just well, it's a cliffhanger that we gotta figure out later on. So yeah, that is Spawn's power surge, and this is what happens next. Will shock you. So hopefully this issue started off with a banger. I thought it did. This is a comic book review of King Spawn issue number 42. What you guys think of this comic book? Comment below, let me know, and also link in description if you wish to add this comic book and or any of our other limited print rated comic exclusives to add to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry. And lastly, this video is sponsored by coffee, because I do these reviews early in the morning before I take my kids to school. So if you want to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description, or donate to the super thanks. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Thank you again for watching. Until the next upload.